was sitting there calling myself names. And this morning, and then I just put lotion on, and it was like poured alcohol all over it. But
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, you survived.
It's
We're
funny
glad.
at the same time, because I'm thinking, well, that was just really stupid of me to do. But
Well, we're glad you survived, Patricia. You're an important
Thank
part of
you.
this community.
It's
Yeah.
my cactus that we're worried about, not me.
Right.
I don't care about me. I'm worried about my little cactus.
Oh,
Right.
quite a few thorns.
Good
Oh, Lord.
stuff. Good stuff. Welcome, everyone. Hey, was that Chuckamecca? What?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to swim.
I said about a few thorns.
Yeah. Yeah, you got some thorns. That's for sure. Here in Arizona, you don't touch the plants because everything's got thorns. Everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything. My wife, everything.
I was
Everything
gonna-
got thorns.
Hey,
You know. I was just about to say that.
Right.
you tell him, Chicken.
All right. Fun Friday, everybody. Welcome. Who's wearing the Hawaiian shirts or whatever you guys are wearing today?
I
Anybody
couldn't
dressed
find
festively?
I'm cold.
Yeah. Oh, look at Alora with the beach. Oh, Kailua. Look at you. I've been to
that.
Kailua.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
There you go. Good times. Anybody else celebrating Friday with me here today? I do see, I see a bunch of beautiful people. We got Sarah Laura. There's John. There's Alec. Ann's here. Joe, awesome as always. There's Missy. Natasha's here. Hey, Jan. And Patricia, of
Look at
course.
this,
Melanie. Chukwuemeka. Chukwuemeka, we got to get you some festive regalia to wear. Maybe a funny hat or something. That would be awesome.
A funny hat.
Yeah. And a cape, maybe. Cape.
That's
So,
an idea for a product, and we got
there
a
you
funny
go.
hat.
All right. I'll think next week.
Okay, you do that.
Wait.
I see Missy's cat. Anybody else got a dog or a cat you want to show off today? Come on down. Any
Okay.
dogs, cats? No frogs, geese, nothing. Okay. Well, that's all right. We can get on with it. All right. Somebody's going to have a joke though. Who's got a joke for us today? It is
Actually-
Fun Friday.
Actually, you
Doc?
don't have to wait. You don't have to wait till next week. I'll just.
There we
Hey,
are. Yeah. That's festive. That's festive.
You don't
That's
have to wait
nice.
till next week.
Yeah. Good times. Anybody know a good joke?
you gotta know some.
Not a nice one.
I can't say any.
Oh, come on.
We don't care.
Go
It's
ahead,
rated
tell
G,
it. We're
family
older.
fun,
Yeah.
family friendly, Okay, well,
Hey,
you
I
sit
will.
on that.
I will. I will.
Yeah, all right, Ann?
If I can get it right. Now, I'm not good at this, but if I can get it right. A fellow goes into the psychologist and he's told that he has dual personality. And he charges him, what is it, $300 or whatever. The guy hands him $75. He says, you can get the rest from the other guy.
There you go.
I
There
love
you
that.
go.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Yeah.
Very good.
I wonder
thought
if
it
that
was
would
good,
work these days in the world that we're in right now. Interesting
I don't think
place.
so.
All right. So good stuff. Thank you, Ann, for our comic relief. What do you guys want to talk about today? Anything I could help anybody with? Any topics, any ideas that's coming up for anyone here?
Keep-
out of America. I'm thinking, does anybody know about Stripe to get payments to come through Stripe?
Sure. Okay. Yeah, you just sign up for Stripe and then you've got a merchant account with Stripe and they take their 3% and that's pretty much it.
What is
So-
Stripe, please?
It's merchant processing. It's online focused. It's we use Stripe for some of our businesses. Yeah. So
Thank you.
How to keep your cool when things are frustrating. Because I don't know, I can't take any more deep breaths. I'm gonna pass out.
right.
You know? What do
Okay.
you do? You feel like
What do you
going through the
do?
computer.
Okay. Great stuff. Thank you for that.
I'm there
Um,
because I've been shut down by Etsy the second time and nobody's answering phones and I'm writing them and asking about it. And I'm waiting now. One answer came back, said could be 7 days. I said, that is not good enough. I said, it's Christmas season. I need this going now.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Okay. Well, certainly,
gonna happen.
squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Sometimes,
Okay.
sometimes they get mad at you for being, sick and tired.
Okay, so let's take that up. Before I do though, Missy's got her hand up. Missy, you have a
Yes,
thought?
I
okay.
just wanted to say to Ann that somebody suggested the other day, when you're having trouble keeping you cool, to have,
Mhm.
write out a set of cards, have them with you. I need this, glued to my eyeballs. What to do when something happens? Leave the room, go eat something, go for a walk.
Yeah.
Put something on TV. Just, you gotta get it, you gotta get away, because they're very frustrating. You can't get to them. You
Yeah.
can't
Well, there's some-
contact them. They make it
It's-
impossible. And it's, so I know what you're saying. It's, you could talk to me, do whatever you want. You gotta, vent it out somehow, but it is
Yeah.
very annoying.
Yeah, I have my friends here with me, my boyfriend's here with me. I do have someone to bounce off, and he's very understanding, but he hates to see me frustrated or unhappy.
Right.
So
No,
makes it tough.
and I'm sure they have no reason for closing your store.
Right.
Actually, yes, but it's not my problem, my fault. Honestly, it is not. My account has been, has a minus 1350 or 75 for fees and listings, I guess. They haven't taken that out of the visas. 2 visas I got attached to. And it's sitting there and I think that's why it was suspended, because it's non-paid, right? I'm
That's
looking
re-
for a pay now button. Just please tell me where this pay now button is. I want you to give you the money. I want to pay you. It's not, but anyway, I'm just waiting now.
Okay.
Maybe
Maybe take
Rachel
the credit
can
card
help.
info out and put it in again. Try it. Try that. Maybe-
Yeah, there you go. Might be a disconnect, reconnect.
They have
Yeah,
a
it
lot
could
of
be.
glitches there too.
I never
so.
thought. Yeah, I was like unplugging things, right? And plugging back in. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay, I'll
Yeah.
try that.
Yeah,
Thanks,
that may
Missy.
be the answer. It's
It
not
could
the answer
be.
to
I'll try anyway.
frustration as a general
No.
topic, but the and I don't know if eating something is the answer either. I mean, we could take that to extremes, right?
Yes,
Oh,
you could,
Potato
yeah.
chips.
Right.
I see them
But,
taking the break, yeah.
Okay.
Taking a break.
So under finances on Etsy, when you can get back in. All right, there you go. So Amber just
Oh, I
put that
know.
in the chat.
I
All
did
right,
all
very
that.
good.
John,
I've got some ideas on this.
Amber, so good.
Sorry?
Excuse me, Melanie?
I says, does Stripe link up with Gearbubble?
Probably not. Missy
Not?
might
No.
know. Yeah.
No.
So Stripe is something, it's a merchant processing. So I'm sorry if we made light of your topic, Melanie. There's nothing to it. You just go to stripe.com and you
These
sign
days?
up.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I'm looking
Um,
for something, I shouldn't be able to link it to Gearbubble, isn't that where it all happens? So what can link to Gearbubble if you're not in the America or Canada, that whole land mass?
Okay, so we're going to
But
give
do
you,
have a Bubble store or, I'm sorry.
yeah, if you're looking for Gear Bubble support specifically, which is a very popular topic, just not on this call, hit seller@gearbubble.com, or there's another address for them that supposedly is more responsive. But it's every day that we're talking about Gear Bubble problems, every friggin' day. So I want to, see what we can do about that. In fact, I just put a bulletin into admin on that because I can't solve your Gear Bubble. I can't solve your Gear Bubble problem. Somebody in Gear Bubble needs to solve your Gear Bubble problems. So I've made that known loudly yesterday. Okay.
You come from
So-
out of America, it's like, how do we make things work without throwing more money into it?
Where you are.
Um,
It doesn't work in America either. Don't worry. It doesn't work.
Right.
either.
There you go. You just heard it out of the mouth of an American.
Biggs.
So there you go.
And some
Be
advice for
careful.
that.
babe,
Okay, but I want to hear Patricia, but let's put the tech stuff to bed because we can't solve tech problems on this call. And I'm a philosopher, not a tech support guy. But you go to Stripe
my
And you-
nice memoir.
and
Yeah.
you can go and set up an account, and then that can be interfaced with various websites. Like for example, in my products company where I have educational courses and branding and marketing and all that kind of stuff, people can transact via Stripe onto my website. But my website is not Gear Bubble. My website is stuff that I own and control. All right. So Stripe is just a merchant account, just like with authorize.net can run Visa, MasterCard, or whatever. So that's all it is. That's all they do is they run payments. Okay. And they take their cut.
Would they get the information by designs and everything then? I'm trying to work out how everything links together.
Stripe, all they do is they process credit cards. That's
Yes.
it.
Okay. How can I need something that works with New Zealand.
Right. So go
Yeah,
to Stripe if you want to go check them out and see if they will work in your jurisdiction. We got lots of Kiwis here. They're all probably asleep right now, except for you. But wait, what time is it right now in Auckland? Oh, it's already
gone
7:25. Yeah, top of the morning to you. But yeah, they are just a processing opportunity. That's it. They process cards. That's all they do.
I'm
So
trying to look up what's going to work to work
okay,
in
I
with
can't
LHS.
take it any further than that, Melanie, on this
No.
call. So if you go to stripe.com, check it out and see if that will work for you. There's many cards that are being processed through New Zealand, though. Many cards. Gear Bubble, I don't know what interfaces with Gear Bubble. Okay. Patricia, you've got the floor. You were going to say?
This is going back to the how to fix my anger and slow myself down.
Mhm.
Y'all are probably not gonna like this, but I had a good friend that was a psychiatrist, and he helped people getting out of the military, because in the military you can get angry and you can go mad and you can attack at people, or you used to be able to, and it was okay. So when you get out and you go back to civilian world, you can't do that anymore, and it's hard to figure out how to stop it. And so I was asking him the same question that you just asked. Jan, how to do that. And he said, get a needle. And every time you get mad, jab yourself with a needle, not hard, but do a little prick. And it makes your brain go, bzz. It's kind of like rebooting a computer. It gets it off of the other thing. And you go, wait a minute, what am I doing? And he said, after a while, you'll learn how to kind of pinch your hand, like just very slightly pinch. And then after a while, after that, your brain will learn how to do a little pinch in your head to stop it, because you have to make yourself go and stop what you're doing and then think about what's going on. And I used to have a really, really hard time with that. And I had to try that, and it worked until I started liking the needle pinches, and then that didn't work anymore. And so, but and sometimes you can do, I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, a lot of people don't want to try something like that because it's very drastic, but it does work. And Jan, you're a very calm person anyway, so I feel for you that this is going on.
That was
you're having
Anne
this
who
struggle.
brought up the issue.
Anne, okay. Anne,
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right. Okay. But we've all gone through it, right? We've all gone through
Oh, hey,
frustrating
Anne.
things. Right. We've
Yeah.
all gone through frustrating things. I see more hands going up now. Alec, we'll get to you. Let me give you my perspective on this. I do think it's interesting that a psychiatrist told you to harm yourself. So, okay.
It was. Maybe
Got
it's
it.
because I was military. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe because I was
Did it
used to
before.
that kind
Right.
yeah.
Okay. So here's what I've discovered when I'm awake enough to look. And that is that all my suffering happens not in the present moment. In other words, when I'm in the past and when I'm in my story about what's going to happen or not happen with the future, then I'm crapping all over right now. And so recently I was reading from a very successful book author who was talking about focusing as much attention as they can in the present moment. In considerations for what goals are we here to achieve and what purposes are we here to fulfill, but to stay as present as possible. Now, we've talked about this before here in this forum, this whole idea of being conscious and awake in present time. A lot of times, and this has come up, a lot of times, where I can't have the effect that I want to have right now in present time, let me go do something else. Missy mentioned a few alternative things you could do. I could tell you one of the simplest things to do is to go get objective. In other words, to step out of the subjective environment of you and your computer screen and all of your opinions about what's happening there, and go look at trees or, the bumpers on cars and blades of grass and birds chirping and anything other than this stuff. Okay. So go look at objects, right? I have found it therapeutic to do stuff where I can get instant gratification. What do I mean by that? So I go out into my garage and I'll look at my Harley and I'll get my little cloth and I'll polish off some chrome or something. Man, that looks good, right? I just had a win. I had a win. Nothing that I had to think about so much. Again, objects, not subjective, objective. Okay. And that gets me back into present time. So we can use things in our environment to do that. Patricia brought up one. I would say if there was any benefit to pricking yourself with a needle, it would just be the acute discomfort or pain, right? Which is a right now experience. And now what did that do? Sucked your attention back into present time. So I would say if there's anything, therapeutic about that, I'm not recommending that you harm yourself bodily. Okay. But would that potentially bring you into present time? It could. It's a crutch, we could say. There are other, I would argue, more productive, less harmful things that you can do. The underlying all of this is the thing I just mentioned, is that all of this projecting that I can tend to do, and I think we can all tend to do, about why this problem will persist, or I will not reach my goals because of this problem, or all the stories that we make up about stuff, is where we get to choose. We get to choose to suffer or continue suffering with that. Now, this may sound too simple for a lot of people. So you're saying, John, that I'll solve my Etsy problem by taking a walk down the block? No, you'll solve your psychological issue with it. The problem will get solved when the problem gets solved by having an objective approach to it. And look, a lot of times, because we're dealing with a lot of subjectivity here. In other words, there's lots of variables and there's lots of opinions and there's lots of perspectives and viewpoints upon that. I've been in sales and marketing for decades, and I deal with every variable you can imagine. All right. It's called people, right? There's 7.5 billion of them currently, I think. And so that's a lot of variables, right? And people have good days and bad days, and people, they got their stories too. And so here I am confronting the marketplace and actually confronting it. What do I mean by that? I mean, being able to, again, remain in present time with the person who's in front of me, okay, and have that conversation based on, what's going on, what's real for them, what's real for them. Think about this, everyone. You're doing this to whatever degree you're doing it with your products that you're putting out, right? You're putting communication. We talked about this, I believe it was yesterday. You're putting communication in front of someone who agrees that is real, right? What's said on that coffee cup, I relate to that. I agree. I want that, right? So this is, you're entering a conversation based on what's already real for the customer. And anytime you're able to do that, you're able to increase, and this happens automatically, you're able to increase someone's, affinity and agreement and cooperation with you. And that's really when it comes down to, you selling your products in the marketplace. That's really what it comes down to, is that you're inducing that agreement. In other words, you're transferring enthusiasm to another about something that they already want. They just didn't know it existed. Okay. So, but all of that is only possible if you're able to actually confront your customer or whatever the situation happens to be. Anytime I've been getting sideways is what I call it. Anytime I get sideways on something, it's because I'm not willing to be there and just look at, here's what is, without all my stories about it in present time. And now what can I do about it? What part of this can I be responsible for? So in Anne's case, she just took responsibility for, here's the problem. And, guys, I could use some guidance on this. And sure enough, here comes an idea. Unplug the damn machine and plug it back in. Now, haven't we all done that with, your internet router or whatever, where it got confused and, it's sending, it's not receiving, what's going on here? Pull the plug, put it back in, wait 10 seconds, right? Put it back in. Hey, we remember where we are now. Oh, that's right. I'm an internet router. Well, let me start routing stuff. And so that may sound like too simple of a fix. Now, I'm not saying or guaranteeing that will fix the Etsy problem, although it may. But you see, that's something we can do about it. So all of this comes back to, again, present time. What can I do right now? There's a story, and I wasn't there, so I can't corroborate this, but there's a story about when Pearl Harbor was attacked. So here are the bombers going overhead and blowing up ships. Okay. And there was a lot of, trauma, obviously, and survivors of that event. They went and sought counsel, and they had, I guess, maybe it was that guy who told, Patricia to, prick herself with a needle. I don't know, but there were people counseling these guys who were kind of helpless in the situation, right? This was somehow a surprise attack. But there was this other group, who they seemed to be fine. And it turns out, as the story goes, that the group who wasn't experiencing so much, despair, these were people who were instructed by the captain of whatever ship that they were on to go and go get the potatoes and throw the potatoes at the planes as they're coming over. Okay. And these guys were thrusting food at these airplanes. Now, did it have an effect on the airplane? No. Okay. It's a potato. Did it have an effect for the person taking the action? Oh, I did something about it. Yes. I in present time, I did something. And so these guys, as the story goes, and you can do your own research on this, but these guys were not as affected, post-traumatically and all this. Okay. So do with that what you will. Sitting there, not knowing what to do and sitting there feeling helpless. Oh man, so I think that's what Ann brought up, right? Because look, Ann wants a solution. Ann wants to be effective. Okay. And if there is a disconnect, what are we talking about here? We're talking about a breakdown in communication. Here's my credit card. And Etsy's saying, where's your credit card? Okay. So that is non sequitur. That is insane. That is insane. Okay. How do you deal with that? What can you do in that situation? Well, maybe it's unplug the machine. Maybe it's, persistently attempting to reestablish communication, just like that router that needed to be unplugged and then replugged, right? So maybe it's just a matter of, hey, we're not connecting up here. You're not receiving the communication that I'm putting out. Okay. That can be terribly frustrating. And look, that's not unique to Ann or Patricia or anybody here, right? That's pretty common. Look, if you talked and all I did was ignore you, what kind of relationship would we have? If you just kept talking about, the tulips or something, and I just kept talking about, the alien spaceships, we don't have agreement here. We're on two different planets right now. Okay. We can't work. There's no relationship there. Back to the idea of inducing cooperation on the part of others. I already mentioned that whenever you're getting in communication with someone about something that's already real to them, their affinity for you, their liking and trust and agreement and all that must increase. Must. Okay. But if you can't establish that, that's terribly frustrating. Right. And we've all experienced this, I think, not just in the business world, but in, personal life. Right. It's just a matter of, why doesn't the kid listen to you? Or, the spouse, right? You can't get through to them or whatever it happens to be. I think a lot of times the answer to frustrating communications or broken down communications is just being able to be there in present time and actually confront the other person. Right. So do with that what you will. But I think Ann and anyone else, right, it would be, I think, good and right and perhaps cathartic for you to walk around the block or something. And I tell this to salespeople as well, right? If they have, because I do a lot of work in that space where, people who lecturing and all this. And sometimes people have like stage fright kind of a thing. So how could you combat that? The stage fright is not a present time, thing. I mean, the emotion of it is, but the reality of it, they're not even on stage yet, right? So they're projecting all this stuff into the future or thinking about the past or whatever. They're not in present time, right? So what could you do to overcome something like that? Well, go confront a large group of people. Not that you're going to speak to them or anything, but you can go hang out at the at the bus stop or something and just look at the people. Here's your potential audience. right? Are they threatening you or something? Or are they weird or, unapproachable? What? It's just people. And there's lots of them, right? All right, great. Now go get on stage and do whatever you're going to do, right? Or go sell or go do the business meeting or whatever it is. So I know this is pretty far afield of what you guys are doing here, right? With coffee cups and t-shirts and whatever, but it's the same principles. We're getting in communication with people, and we can and should be able to do that in a way where, we're kind of centered during the whole thing, where we can just, kind of confront the whole situation and assess it and get in proper communication. Look, if I get on stage and when I get on stage, like for real on stage, and if I'm talking to a group of people, my ears are open the whole time, right? It's not like I run a script or something, right? My ears are open the whole time. Think of comedians, right? Comedians know how to work the audience, right? So there's a two-way communication going on there. They may have their jokes pre-written, but the timing of it and the reaction of the people and all that, you can't do that if you're not here, right? So you're way more effective right now than you'll ever be any other time. All right. So I guess that's the punchline. So you can't have an effect later, nor can you have one yesterday. You kind of have one right now. And these guys that were throwing the potato right now, right? Do something. Okay. And they experience less of that emotional turbulence that Ann was just describing. I hope that you guys got something out of that. It has been, very useful for me. Alec, you've got a thought on this. You've had your hand up for a while. I didn't mean to neglect you. I just wanted to get this out.
No, I honestly, you mentioned so much different stuff. I don't even remember what the actual topic of the discussion was. I do
Dealing
remember
with frustration.
well, yeah, I was gonna say I do remember. I think it was Patty saying something about frustration, which was in the very beginning, and I know I've not necessarily heard her thought about poking yourself with a needle. That's the first I've ever heard, but I have heard of the rubber band technique, where you just put a rubber band on, and really it's you can use that for anything. I mean, hey, you need to be in the moment, snap your rubber band. It's just kind of putting you aware of being in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are other methods which I do use, which I like to use my music. That's my method of going about. Like the pair of headphones that I have, I mean, when I had the money at the time, I bought them. They were $400.
Oh.
And I said, you know what? I want to make sure that my listening experience is on point.
What headphones are they?
They're the Sony, they're a noise canceling.
Oh, okay. I'm running
Yeah.
Sennheiser 650s from maybe 10 years ago. There you go. So I like good sound,
Yeah.
brother. I know what you're talking about.
That's a really good brand. They really are. When it, like, over time, you do start to do your research into different ones, and that's where it comes into profit and quality. So
Yeah.
you can buy a real cheap set of headphones, and you'll get a sound, but it's not amazing.
Right.
Now you can go
You and I
spend
could talk about
$400.
audiophile stuff sometime, because I'm running Bowers and Wilkins 802 Nautilus downstairs and the whole, yeah. If you want to talk about spending 50 grand on a stereo, I know how to do that. So
No, but I mean, somebody else, please take the floor.
okay. Good to see you, brother. Glad you're here. Missy, you've got your hand
Good to
up.
see you too, sir.
All right.
I just have to admit to Ann and to everyone, when I said the thing about the cards, which was very helpful to me the other day, have a set of cards ready so that you're not just before this at another meeting, my Zoom literally disappeared off my computer. I couldn't download it. It wasn't in my applications. I contacted Zoom. I had to do it on my phone. And it sent me, I am transforming. And every once in a while I think, oh, this is it. I've transformed. I got it. I made it. But I slipped and I went right back into, because I couldn't get to the meeting. And then I have a meeting at 5:30 and then I have this meeting and I was literally freaking out. But as soon as I went into the kitchen, because the cat wanted food, she keeps wanting this food thing every day. As soon as I went into the kitchen and I was by a window and I said, what am I doing to myself? When I was continuing to stay in front of the computer with the no Zoom, I was in this place that I haven't been in for quite a while. And I don't like that place because I used to live in that place. And so I calmed myself down and when I came back, I got Zoom to download. So for an hour, I couldn't do it. I walked away. I wish I hadn't written my cards yet. I don't know if that would have helped me this time because it was right at the moment when the meeting was starting. But still, that's no excuse for my behavior. So I have to, I'm going to, Neville got to revise that. You can revise things that go badly. The law of revision. Tonight, I'm going to revise that. Look it up if you don't understand it. But so, Anne, I'm not so, oh, Anne, just write these little cards and do it. No, I almost had a breakdown right before this meeting. So I know what you're going through and I'm here for you if you need anything. Okay. So
Thank you so much, my dear.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
Awesome stuff. Anybody else today? Any other thoughts before we get on with an awesome weekend, which we're all about to have? We are just a few days away from the United States Thanksgiving, so we are going to be taking Thursday and Friday off. But we will be here with you Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for your viewing pleasure. Last call. Any other thoughts for today? Well, I want to thank you all for being a part of this community, and for those of you who are newer here and going through like your accelerator modules and all that, keep on trucking. Get with your accountability rep. I'm really looking forward to meeting with everyone on our business launch sessions who haven't been through them yet. There's a lot I want to share with you that really can blow this up. So with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up. I will be back here with you Monday. All right. So let's make it a great weekend. Thank you again. Bye for now. Bye-bye.